We're here with Dan Johnson, Senior Superintendent for the grain project in Delafield, Wisconsin. We're going to talk a little bit about what the benefits are of the timber frame structure. So to our superintendent, to the crowd, Dan, what do you think the benefits are of this structure?
So I think the aesthetics of it are just pleasing to come into work. Like, you come into work, it's nice to see the wood, everything like that. It makes for a happier environment, truly does, because then you're not just dealing with cold type steel, stuff like that. You're actually dealing with a wood environment again.
So we're on the 4th floor of the grain. This is the east tower, but if you look behind us, you can see this is going to remain exposed. This is going to be an office building, so the people that are going to occupy this space are really going to enjoy the warmth of the structure and just the openness, the beauty of it. We don't have any lights in here yet because we're still in the construction phase and we're doing the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, but that will be coming here in the next few weeks as we move further into the finishes of the project. Look behind you and you can see none of this is all sealed, correct? This all came from the factory sealed. We're not going to put anything over the top of it. It doesn't get paint. It all stays natural.
It all stays natural. There's
different colors that can be provided with stains, but this is a natural clear coat. So we don't really have a stain. This is the natural beauty of the wood, correct?
Correct.
Explain to the audience, what are we looking at here? What are these different components?
So you have the columns, which are your vertical pieces that rise up, and then those are supporting the beams, and the beams are then bearing the purlins. The purlins are your most upper pieces, and then on top of that would be your decking, which would be your DLT, which is a Dowel-Laminated timber product, which those come out in panels, typically about 42 inches wide, come upwards of 50 feet long if needed.
We can show you some pictures of the DLT, but these panels are all prefabricated. They're doweled together and they're swung in place, correct?
Yep.
What's the longest timber that you have out here on this site?
53 feet.
53 feet, and that's a beam?
No, that was the DLT.
That was a DLT, so that's the flooring system.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And then these connections that we have here, these connections have all been tooled. They've been cut at the fabricator's shop. We're not doing any of this in the field. So this is an erection set that you follow a set of plans. Once we get true, we get plumb and straight, it goes up pretty quick, correct?
Yeah, it does. I mean, for the most part, it's a pick and place. Pick it right off the ground, put it right in its place, brace it, and move on.
And that's one of the benefits that you told me. This is about twice as fast as a steel structure versus the wood, correct?
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, for sure, yep.
Good. Anything else? Anything else that excites you about the wood?
No, just the area we're putting it in. Good old downtown Delafield, and don't forget about Susie Thompson bringing you brownies. Bang.
Well, the benefit is we as a company like wood and the more rustic look. Timber gives us that. It was just coming off of a big apartment building in Milwaukee, and we wanted to do an office out of it. Like I said, it did cost more, but in the end, I think when you look at it, you can get some efficiencies by not doing out of steel. You can pick up some time when things are coordinated correctly, and it does become a more efficient building as you build it.
So what are the tenants saying about the building?
The tenants, I mean, they all like a heavy timber building. I can't say that we're necessarily getting more rent, but we are having people that are interested in office space in downtown Delafield because there's a lack of office space. Is it because the building's timber? I can't really say for sure because nobody's really said, I want a timber structure, but they like looking at it when they walk through it.
Watching the structure being swung in piece by piece, it seems to be a very coordinated effort. So can you talk a little bit about that from what you've seen as a developer and owner of the building?
What I've seen is that, and never having done one of these before, it seemed like it would be difficult at first, and then when you see it going together and how the first column is set on top of precast, then you move on to the beams and purlins and decking, it all goes together pretty quick. And it doesn't matter how many cranes you have, it matters that you need about 4 to 6 people and you can put this building up. And we were doing about a floor a week once we got the kinks worked out. And once you have your deck down, you have a surface to work on. There's actually minimal screws holding the deck down because it's down by the weight, and then you just keep going up. Columns, purlins, beams, deck, and repeat. And then once you have that up, the coordination with the steel was a little more difficult, and we have all brick buildings, so then we had to add brick ledges. If you didn't have some of that and you could frame from floor to floor, once we started the framing, it went really quick, and now we're almost enclosed with windows and vapor barrier on the outside of the building, which turned around pretty quick.